Namaste. Welcome to Mental Health Wellness with Divya Hari. I, Divya Hari, a counseling psychologist, on behalf of ayushtv, am bringing to you a series of mental health awareness programs. Mental health, something which has been overlooked for centuries now, yet something which is very essential. Today we have with us on our panel Ms. Devanshi Rao. She is a counseling psychologist and the founder of an online mental health platform called Niramaya. She holds a master's degree in counseling psychology and is very enthusiastic about promoting mental health. Hi Devanshi, welcome to our show. Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much for having me here.
So for centuries now, mental health has been something which has been a taboo. It has been such a hush topic, and we as counseling psychologists understand the importance of it being spoken out loud now. Now there has been progress. There are many people who are speaking about mental health and are actually gaining awareness about it. What do you think mental health is?
Mental health is everything we think, we feel, and behave. It consists of our emotional, psychological, and social well-being. And it's not just about the absence of mental illness or disorders, but more so with regarding to mental well-being and optimal functioning of our overall health.
Like you beautifully mentioned, mental health is overall well-being. So it is sort of like a holistic wellness. Both physical wellness and mental health go hand in hand.
Yeah.
So it is like basically our mental health affects our physical health and our physical health impacts our mental health too.
Sure.
But when it comes to our physical health, we don't hesitate to tell that I have a headache today or I have a fever today, or we don't hesitate to go to the doctor to get it checked, right? So we are very open to speaking about our physical health in general. But when it comes to our mental health, it has been stigmatized.
Right.
What do you think has been contributing to this stigma?
I think the idea that if you seek help, then you're considered weak, right? For ages together, strength is equated with how much you can take and not asking for help, right? How much you can do all by yourself. And I think that is one reason people think that asking for help or going to therapy is something that is considered, still considered a taboo, right? And also the fact that people tend to go to therapy only when things hit rock bottom. It does not have to be that way. There's also this one notion that only crazy people go to therapy, and people with serious disorders, only they seek therapy, but it is definitely not the case. So I think all of these misconceptions and lack of awareness and sensitivity impedes you talking about it more openly.
Adding on to that, treating the brain as a part of our body, and when it comes to conditions of the brain. So emotions are nothing but a response to something that is happening in your brain, right? So speaking about something that's happening within you, maybe you're feeling sad, maybe you want to cry. So what do you think? There are a few things we can do to probably eradicate this stigma or work towards building awareness of speaking up and building awareness towards even the concept of emotions.
First thing is we ourselves need to accept that we have emotions and be vulnerable ourselves so that we can do the same or facilitate the same for others as well. And also just talking about our struggles more openly will help people feel that they're not alone in this, and they can also speak out and they can also seek help, and it is not something that is considered weak. Yeah.
Like you mentioned, acknowledging your emotions firstly, acknowledging how you feel, accepting and normalizing that it is okay for me to feel sad about something, it is okay to feel angry about something.
Right.
And after you acknowledge your emotions, expressing your emotions. It is okay to cry. In fact, I feel crying is one of the most cathartic things ever. It feels like you're releasing out a huge load. So what do you think are the impacts of actually building up these emotions?
I think there is this concept called emotional granularity. In this, it says that you pinpoint exactly what you're feeling, and I think when you start doing that, you get to know exactly what you're experiencing, and you'll be able to deal with it or cope with it better. And so many times people tend to suppress whatever they're feeling because they think that if you don't give it attention, it just goes away. But emotions don't work that way, right? It's like taking a ball in a swimming pool and pushing it down, and it comes up with the same force up, right? So I think acknowledging it, validating your emotions play a really important role in feeling okay at the end of the day, because emotions do pass, and they pass only when you validate them, acknowledge them, and know that they exist so you can do something about it.
You mentioned about emotional granularity. I think it's a very beautiful concept, especially with my clients. When I introduce the feelings wheel to them, initially they think of it as a very annoying or a very stupid concept, but a lot of them have come to me after 4 to 5 sessions saying, even looking at the feelings wheel and naming out what I'm feeling is so exciting. So I have a lot of clients who've taken a printout of the feelings wheel and framed it over their desk or set it as their wallpaper, because it's so beneficial for them. When it comes to seeking therapy, it's not seen as a necessity, it's rather seen as a luxury which allied people see, maybe something which is for the rich people, right? So I think the inavailability of mental health resources itself has contributed to it. So what do you think therapy actually is? Because a lot of my clients come to me and ask, aren't you going to give me advice? Or a lot of them think that therapy is just talking, therapy is just a therapist nodding their head and charging for that. So can we maybe tell the viewers about what therapy is?
Therapy is a space where there is a professional relationship between the therapist and the client. Therapists don't give advice because we don't have that power to, right? We just help you reach your own solutions. We don't sit and give you solutions. And therapy can help with so many aspects, not just anxiety or depression. There are so many things that people struggle with, like body image, self-image, confidence issues, so many things that people struggle with that therapy can help.
Yes, like you mentioned, there is a misconception that yes, there is also a fact where people go to a therapist only to seek a safe space to speak about their emotions. There is that too, but there is so much more.
Yeah, it's not the only thing.
That is not the only thing. Yes, that is a part of it. That is more to provide a very confidential space, because we are entirely non-judgmental. Even if a client is speaking about the most difficult of difficult things, the fact that the therapy space is very non-judgmental and confidential makes it a space where, yes, they do just talk also, but there is a lot of other things. There is interventions, there is also
a lot of processes that is going behind it.
Yes, and there is also prevention.
Therapy can also be preventative for sure, because for example, you in couples therapy, you don't have to go to couples therapy only when you're about to break up or you're on the brink of divorce, right? You can go to couple therapy just to get to know your partner better, be more self-aware, work together for a better future. There are so many things that you can do to strengthen the relationship that you already have, but or rather, work on it right now than wait for it to fall apart to go to couples therapy. So therapy can be preventative. It can help with your self-awareness, confidence, and so many things.
Like you mentioned, there is also a career aspect to it. A lot of people who want to seek career guidance do come to therapy. So when it comes to just apart from therapy, what are some ways where we can better our mental health? So for example, for me, apart from therapy, for me, journaling is very beneficial. Writing down how I feel or writing down how my day went feels very good. So what are some ways where others can take care of their mental health or better their mental health?
First thing is, like I said, just accepting feelings, just accepting how you're feeling is one really important thing that you can do to better your mental health. Other things are eating good food, good nutritious quality food, getting 8 hours of sleep where it is uninterrupted, and some sort of physical movement, daily movement, any sort of exercise, gym, dance, anything that makes you happy. And like you said, journaling, practicing gratitude, investing in better relationships which uplift you and help you grow, and just doing things that you like generally, and being able to tolerate discomfort. It will aid with improving your mental health.
Like you mentioned, so when you mentioned about eating healthy and probably moving your body, I think that is very essential, because not only will it improve our mental health, it contributes to our physical health as
Sure,
well.
yeah.
So when our mental health is neglected, we are not very aware of it, but our physical health does
Yeah.
get impacted too. So for example, if anxiety or something has been ignored for a very long time, it is going to manifest as physical symptoms. Like some people experience back pain at a very early age. So it could be a manifestation of anxiety which has been sort of pushed beneath the rug for several years now.
Yeah, that is true. That is so true. It can, anxiety or other mental issues can exhibit as physical symptoms, because mind and body is connected, right?
Exactly.
People tend to forget that. So it is definitely will definitely show physically as well if you neglect yourself mentally. So
I think just telling ourselves that the mind and body is connected and the brain is very much a part of our body, and
yeah.
the conditions that come out of it are very true is important here. One more thing is, we as therapists see clients day in and day out, and there is sort of a huge emotional load that comes with it. So what do you as a therapist do to take care of yourself and preventing what we experience in these sessions to not affect your personal life? What do you do as a therapist?
Right. Like I said, as therapists, we do go through a lot of things while we are seeing clients. Like, for example, we also go through vicarious trauma, because our clients are going through so much, and we as humans also feel for them, right? But for me, I think I practice strict boundaries and detachment from my work. I obviously go to therapy. I do have my own therapist. There is this misconception that therapists are perfect and they don't need therapy. But I very much go to my own therapy regularly. And I do have a peer group where I can fall back on. I do have some brilliant friends who understand the kind of profession I am in and show up for me and hold space for me and invest in me energetically, and so do I with them. And I am someone who really likes dancing, so dancing my heart out, writing really helps me kind of get everything off my chest. So I think that those are some things that I do to make myself be okay.
I think everything you mentioned there was a form of expression in itself. So dance, like you mentioned, expressing our emotions out through movement, movement therapy. And when it comes to writing, art therapy, it is art therapy in its own form. Even writing out how you feel that day, or writing out about your day, feels so energetic. Right. One more thing that has often been spoken about since a few years is that mental health is a very westernized concept. It is something which probably only the Western world needs, and not Indians. So Indians believe in probably just laughing it out. And we also believe the fact that we don't need mental health, or a lot of people say they don't. There is no such thing as mental health. This is only something which Western people do. It's not for us Indians. So what is your take on that?
I don't agree with that, because mental health is very much a part of us, and human beings are the same everywhere. And it's just the fact that people were not aware of it back then, right? Our older generations were not aware of something called mental health, even though they were going through struggles, but they just weren't aware or did not have the language to speak about it, right? And depression is real, anxiety is real. It is not just a Western concept. So I think right now, because it is booming especially after COVID, people went through so much during that period. It is slowly pushing them to seek mental health support. More aware of the language, more aware of the resources that they can access, right? So my question is, when you do have the resources, why not make use of it? And now that you are aware of something that like mental health exists, right? So I don't think it's a Western concept at all.
Exactly. So I think that now that a lot of things are changing, a lot of people are even providing therapy online.
Of course, yeah.
There are mobile apps that provide chat therapy. So maybe having the access to real, genuine, and quality therapists is one way to bring in the awareness.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. I think there are a lot of, sadly, there are a lot of people who are not qualified and they still are giving out services, claiming that they are psychologists or therapists. But I hope that people are able to distinguish which is a quality one and who are just pretending to be one. So I think that is one thing that can be a little difficult to navigate for people, right? Yeah.
So that was very beautifully said. I think a lot of things you mentioned throughout our conversation had a lot of key takeaways, and I hope that there we are one step ahead of spreading awareness as to what mental health actually is, in contradiction to what we've been believing it is all these years. Thank you for all the valuable words you've shared.
Thank you so much. I had a great time here.
I hope this brought to you what mental health actually is. I will see you in the next episode with a new topic. Until then, take care. Thank you.
Click on the bell icon to watch our latest videos.